course. If I'm ever going to any parties, I'm coming. I'm bringing you with me. I'll say, look, this geezer's got Bored Ape. All the ladies will be ours. Unfortunately, I'm married, so I'm not into these things anymore. But there you go.
I totally feel you, but we can still have fun at the party, though, for sure.
Yeah. How's things? Everything all right?
Everything's good. It's just another day, another work day, and back-to-back meetings and etc. But just here to change the world.
That's brilliant, and allow me to introduce you to the people that with us right now. So Andrew Fai is the Chief Visionary Officer at xtingles. It's the world's first ASMR NFT for artists and collectors. I'm sure not many people in the audience know what ASMR even stands for, so we'll talk about that. But Andy is a highly recognized thought leader within the NFT space, and also founded, I think, is one of the largest, isn't it, blockchain summits?
Yep.
In the Central Asia. So welcome to the
Thank you.
to Connect Club. Huh? How are you finding so far?
It's fun. It's cool. I'm sitting on the couch and a little cozy, and in this interview setting, quite nice.
But you know what? You made me upset a little bit. With your status, with your statue. I've just looked at your profile. There's zero information there, and you're not even part of NFT-club. Let's just fix that.
Okay.
I'm Sean Alimov. I'm the founder of the NFT-club on Connect Club. So if you could kindly tap on my avatar, you will see that I'm a member of NFT club. So if you tap on that NFT symbol.
See it.
Yeah.
Okay, just join the club.
And join the club. And also, please respond I wanted to connect with you.
Just did.
And I don't know if you're not ignoring me on purpose, because that story of my life, I'm used to it.
We just connected.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, and I really liked your idea in terms of, let's not do these presentations and things like that. Let's just bounce some ideas backwards and forwards, because I'm a great supporter, advocate for this kind of discussions. And I think you've got quite a good story to tell. So let's just get straight into it, if you don't mind.
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. Well, first of all, let's just get your views on what is NFTs and, what is Metaverse. How would you describe it?
So, an easy way to kind of think about NFT is that an example I use quite often is think about verified Twitter account, right? Where when it is verified, this is the actual person using this Twitter account to be interacting with you. To some extent, NFTs are verified JPEG, verified MP4 file, or verified content file from any source that it originated from the original artist. And NFT represents the digital certificate of ownership of the content itself. When you think about purchasing fine arts in the real world, right? And it always comes with a certificate of ownership that indicates the provenance of where it came from, where it is drawn, what is it about, who was the previous owner of this piece of art. And for NFTs, it is exactly just that, which is a digital deed, digital certificate of ownership, in which when the transactions always happen and where it's going and who owns this given piece of NFT at any given moment of time.
So if I would call it, since I've kind of played a little bit with the real estate, I can call it like a title deed, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And
sure, please continue.
Yeah, and circling back on Metaverse, I think for the most part, the most basic way to explain metaverse, it's just a virtual world. Right? It's immersive virtual. Like for instance, where we are here today, I would consider it as a metaverse because we're interacting digitally. And at the same time, we're using our own identity as set up as a profile to be interacting with other people. So that's what I define as metaverse, which is a digital world in which we interact and connect with our digital identity is what we call metaverse. And for current market sentiment, most people believe that the metaverse should have connection with blockchain assets because that is where we believe true ownership of digital assets can occur when it is verifiable in such a way that people know who owns what at any given moment of time. Yeah.
Look, before yourself, there's been some presentations on the topics of Web3, and I think I'd love to hear your view on what's Web3 and its relationship with the whole concept of metaverse and NFTs, please.
So let's just go back to what is Web 1 and 2, and then we'll build up to Web 3. So for Web 1, it's what we call an internet age where we can only read content, right? I think way back in the past, in the year 2000, we browsed a lot of websites. Websites are very simple. You can only read them. It's kind of like a digital newspaper of sorts, where you go on there and read news, and there's not much you can do. You cannot contribute. And for Web 2, it's when you could read and you can write. And this is when kind of Facebook and MySpace kind of get started. So you can read other people's content, and at the same time, you can comment and you can contribute. So that's Web 2, right? It's more interactive and much more fun. And as we move forward to where we are with cryptocurrencies, with blockchain, we're seeing the beginnings of what we call Web 3, in which we can read, write, and own a piece of internet. And when we own a piece of internet, that refers to owning digital assets like cryptocurrencies, Ether to NFTs. These are what we call the basic fundamentals of digital assets and within Web 3. Yeah.
So my understanding was, and maybe it needs some correction from your end. Sure. I thought the Web 3 is a kind of the evolution of Web 2, where you don't have a kind of a big brother watching over you, and potentially like we mentioned earlier, an example. You talk to somebody about, I don't know, buying a new car. Next thing your Facebook sends you the adverts for the exact model. Is that something that Web3 will also solve?
Actually, in Web3, when it's given that all digital assets are available, verifiable by anyone, and to some extent we're kind of naked. But the great thing is we can now finally own a digital asset that is only controllable by you, right? In the past, in the Web 2 setting, where servers are pretty centralized, assets are controlled by one entity or another, they can easily take away your assets. They can easily fabricate more assets that are not transparent, and where you never know, right? Where you can get easily censored on the Web 2 basis. But with Web 3, it's you can't censor them. So it's permissionless, and you're able to own this digital asset in such a way that people can verify that on a blockchain explorer, for instance, right? So it's a very big fundamental change on things. It's a big fundamental change because this active transparency of blockchain transactions and now gives you the power to finally own something, right? Own something that everybody can verify at any given moment of time.
So look, there's a lot of talk about whether NFTs are just a hype, a bubble that's going to bust, and I would agree to a certain extent, but again, I'm a very skeptical, pessimistic, miserable bugger. You could ask my wife; she'll agree with me. But yeah, what do you think from your perspective? What makes NFTs so desirable, and is there anything can be improved for the more mainstream adoption outside, your usual kind of artists, musicians, etc.?
Well, NFTs has kickstarted what I believe is the age of digital renaissance. And a good example here is digital artists that we see on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We see really nice photos, nice graphics, nice visuals being designed every day. And people just copy them, right-click Save As, and just post it on whatever profile gallery they want. But there's never a true credit to the original author and creator of this piece. And also, there's never been a really great way to sell these digital content files, because it's so easy. You can duplicate and share it and save it and just copy multiple pieces and send it out. So there's never been a way for digital artists to gain the recognition they deserve. There's never been a way for digital artists to sell their unique piece to an actual collector that's supporting what they do. But because of NFTs, that has all changed. NFTs serve as previously mentioned, a certificate of ownership, in which, as you own this NFT, you can announce to the world, or at the very least, you can let the original artist and the community supporting the artist know that you are a rightful owner, and with a lot of pride, that you own this digital art. Right? And it's an absolute game changer now, because it's a mentality shift on finally you can own a piece, right? You can own this digital assets in such a way that it represents like an extension of our own identity within this this metaverse that we'll be embracing, right? And I think that we're just in the really beginning here, as we move forward from kind of free internet that we use every single day. We're start to have a mentality shift of becoming the right owner of this NFT, and that's, I believe, a new digital renaissance that we're seeing, in which digital artists can finally get their recognition and finally can monetize properly here.
That's interesting, but can you explain to those of us what is a autonomous sensory meridian response NFT? I mean, how did you come up with that name?
So ASMR, right?
Yes.
ASMR is an acronym that just came about 10 years ago. It refers to a reaction. It's a feeling of a tingling sensation from the top of your head to your shoulders, sometimes down to the spine. You usually feel the sensation when, for instance, you hear people whisper, or when you pop the bubble wrap, and for instance, when you hear everyday sounds that remind you of being human, right? And this reaction is supposed to help you feel one step closer to feeling relaxed, feeling calm, feeling sleepy. Like right now in this current room, I'm hearing the sound of the air conditioner. It's quite calming for me. And it helps me feel relaxed. And it reminds me that I'm inside my room. It reminds me that there's constant air circulation. So it feels good, right? And this is kind of like a very it's ASMR
It's done
feeling,
on purpose. We know what you like.
right?
Yeah, it's done on purpose. Yeah,
Purpose.
we want you to feel relaxed. We aim to please.
Aim to please, yeah. Well, I would say like ASMR is like ASMR is is an acronym that describes kind of a everyday reaction and feeling of kind of what it means to be human here, and there are more intense forms of ASMR reactions that people may feel. I'm sure like you've put on headphones and hear a virtual barber, right? They would cut your hair and you would hear the scissors kind of cutting your hair from the left ear to the right ear, and it feels very calming in the sense that it feels like very intimate, and that's definitely an ASMR feeling here. And we're also seeing how a lot of commercials today, advertisements today on big companies where they use ASMR component in such a way that it makes things more human. For instance, beer commercials, right? So when you think about beer commercials, you think about there's a cup and they pour the beer and you hear like the sound of the bubble rising all the way to the top, and you pick up the beer and maybe tap on the glass and drink.
You make me thirsty right now. I just can hear that in my head.
And then you would exhale, or you'll drink. You'll be like, it feels very good, and that's a perfect example of ASMR, which you feel more human because of this reaction and this feeling you hear from the sound and the visual, and that you can imagine that touch as well. So those are all ASMR.
So look, this is something I wanted to discuss with you in person, but since I've got you on the stage, I kind of thrown it to you in advance. But there's a lot of talk about this extreme FOMO and high gas prices. High priced gas fees, and it's kind of a sort of a usual suspects, the constraints associated with NFT drops. I understand you specifically look into it when it comes to ASMR NFT drops. Is that correct?
I specifically look into ASMR NFT drops. I think the right way to say it is I founded xtingles, and we're the world's first ASMR NFT production and Web3 marketplace for artists and collectors. And what that means is that we're here to solve a very big problem that we're seeing in the ASMR market today. So there are thousands of ASMR artists on YouTube every single day producing content to help you feel more relaxed and help you with sleep. And even big artists like Cardi B, she makes ASMR. She has done a couple of ASMR videos, just whispering to the microphone and using her nail to gently tap and scratch on the microphone as well. Just kind of a ticklish feeling to your ears. These ASMR YouTubers, what we're noticing is that they're dependent on these views, right, just as a way to monetize. Because on YouTube, the way you generate income is the more people watch your ads, the more ads revenue you earn. And the problem with this model is you're in a constant need to get more view counts, constant need to please the newsfeed algorithm so that you can get organic views to your content. And you are also in a constant fear of getting censored by users or by the platform here. So we figured that in order for this ASMR market to grow and mature, there needs to be a solution to help these ASMR digital artists to generate a revenue so that they can not be so dependent on YouTube. And we believe that the solution is NFT, right? Because on the left, for instance, for the left hand, artists on YouTube, they're just try to generate as many views as possible. But on the right hand, where we think about NFTs, all they really need to do as a digital artist is just to have 100 collectors, right? Each collecting NFTs from them and supporting them, and maybe using this NFT as a way to showcase their collection in a metaverse. They just need 100 people to support them an income for a whole year. So it's a very different paradigm shift here, as NFTs are making it available for artists to sell their digital collectibles for the first time. And so we think that at xtingles, the positioning is clear about, we want to help these ASMR artists grow and be able to freely express themselves as artists through issuance of digital collectibles in the form of NFTs, so that they can spend more time creating more interesting sounds. They can spend more time creating more digital art to help people feel ASMR. Yeah.
And it's now spreading massively into the sort of fashion industry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Look, by the way, just a quick address to the audience. If anybody wants to ask a question, please raise your hand now, because Andy is a man in demand, so he will leave bang on time. He's not like other guys. But yeah, oh, there you go. Got somebody else.
Yep.
Excellent. We've got Hannah.
Hello.
Hello, Hannah.
Hey.
It is very interesting topic. So thank you for your speech. And my question concerns such a topic that is this a part of entertainment and business, or maybe you expect that it will bring a global benefit for people in some spheres?
Yeah, I would like to think about ASMR NFTs as digital therapeutic, in which you can collect these ASMR NFTs and play them, these sounds on repeat, right? For instance, imagine the sound of imagine the sound of the basketball swoosh, where you make a shot that only goes through the net, and the sound is very calming, right? Or imagine the sound of playing Rubik's Cube, right? The click sound, or even just typing a keyboard. Right? It's a very meditative sound that you hear, and as what we believe, that this can help people feel more relaxed instantly by just playing and listening to their own ASMR NFT. So we think that this is a beginning of kind of offering digital therapeutic sounds for people looking for mental calmness in everyday setting here. And this is why we think that it's becoming important for to help ASMR artists create better ASMR art pieces. Yeah.
That sounds nice. So we're looking forward for this.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Hannah.
And anybody else?
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a follow-up on the previous one, but it's very known that ASMR is like very built on community. And my question is, do you plan on keeping the community on just like the ASMR fans, or essentially expanding it to the whole public?
Yeah. Well, so at the moment, we're focused on the market's intersection of three different markets, which is the ASMR community and the NFT collector space, right, and also Flow blockchain. So for one, ASMR community, it's a very nice and warm and good feeling community where people are just trying to feel more relaxed, right? A lot of people consume ASMR content on a daily basis to help them treat anxiety, stress, and insomnia, rather than going to psychologists or psychiatrists and prescribe the pills. They would rather consume ASMR content, just feel more relaxed, right? And we think that it's as we face this very busy digital world that we live in, especially this really stressful environment with cryptocurrencies. They say that a day in crypto is like a year in normal traditional life. I believe that this mental calmness, this therapeutic sound and visuals that ASMR can provide is going to become more increasingly important for this very busy digital world that we live in. So, as we kind of positioning ASMR NFTs as finally as digital assets that we can own, we're kind of, in a sense, helping the ASMR artists to monetize properly so that they can continuously make inspiring and relaxing and calming content for a wider audience to consume. So definitely our main goal is to get to the mainstream and remind them that these everyday sounds we hear is important for us to really take a break from life sometimes.
Yes, thank you so much.
Andrew, thank you very much. Listen, it's great to meet you in person, even though you didn't turn on your camera. I have looked you up, so I know what you look like in real life, which is a bonus. And let's stay in touch. I really appreciate your thoughts, your inputs. I like the way you present, and there are certainly a couple of ideas I wanted to bounce by you. And thank you again to be here.
Yeah, it's definitely a pleasure to be here with you all, and it's great to hear your voice again, Sean. I look forward to chatting with you sometime soon.
Okay, absolutely. How did you like our platform, by the way?
Oh, it's cool. I really like it. It's like it feels casual and it feels like.
I gotta show you the entire picture because I think you've only seen maybe less than half of it. But we'll connect at a more convenient time. Have a great day, and
you too. Thank you, everyone.
Appreciate it. Cheers. Bye bye.